Hello, everybody. Last week, I was trying to raise an awareness for our advocacy conference. I'm talking about how it's important that we get involved. Again, continuing the conversation, we had the summit or the conference, the advocacy and policy conference. The speakers before we were incredible, but one key theme that was consistent from every panel, from every speaker, fireside chat was get involved, get off your tail and get in the field, right? There is work to be done. If all of the things that we highlighted were concerns and issues, the way to change that, the way to start making a dent in the system is by stepping out and getting involved. By getting involved in your HOA, in your city council, in your school board, by stepping out, it's by finding and identifying a position and feeling like, you know what, I'm qualified, I'm eligible, I will run for this office. It's by raising your hand to be a part of things, by volunteering. That is by joining the collective and saying, hey, I want to be a part of this work that you guys are doing to further, amplify the voice of African immigrants, to further create a platform where no one like us has to start from scratch. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. It's afternoon my time. I'm doing this a little later today. Let's go through the normal routine checks that we have to do. Make sure we're live. Let me make sure I'm streaming to LinkedIn. Let's see. LinkedIn, give me the signal that we're live on LinkedIn. It says no data. All right, it's not showing on LinkedIn. Yeah, it looks like it is finally showing. All right, excellent. Looks like we're about to be live everywhere. Greetings, everybody. I'm excited. Thank you all for being here. Again, I'm starting a little bit late. I had some personal things to take care of today, but we keep it rolling, we keep moving because we have work to do and the work doesn't stop. All right, I have multiple screens in front of me, so if you see where if my eyes are moving, that's because I am looking at my notes. Yes, I use notes for those things. And yes, I want to continue the conversation. Last week, I was trying to raise an awareness for our advocacy conference. I'm talking about how it's important that we get involved. Again, I'm jumping in, but welcome to another episode of Thriving Beyond Borders with Nnamdi. And I'm Nnamdi Hedach. I'm the founder of the African American Collective. If you're watching this on LinkedIn, please make sure you're following us. And if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, do all the things you have to do. You know what to do. All right, today I'll be continuing the conversation. We had the summit or the conference, the Advocacy and Policy Conference, this past Saturday. So I want to talk about what next, how to continue. So my topic today is advocacy in action, how to keep the fire burning beyond the conference. Right, how to keep the fire burning beyond the conference. The conference itself was powerful, and I believe we have everything live on YouTube right now. Go to just look up African Immigrant Collective on YouTube to check out the conference videos. The panels were incredible. It was an amazing event, right? We had some hiccups at the beginning with the venue, but we're able to reposition, reroute, make decisions on our feet and still pulled off an excellent event. And that's a standard we try to uphold here at the collective. But we had the event, we had incredible speakers. I'm talking about elected officials. We had two members of the Georgia House of Representatives present, who were there to give wisdom and knowledge. We had founder for Baji, we had Joanna LeBlanc, we had Olivia Mugenga. There was amazing people. Buki Fakoriji, there was Attorney Uzo Akbele, immigration lawyer, immigration attorney. There's just a whole bunch of incredible knowledge. Advocacy director Cassandra Charles, attorney, just everybody. It was an amazing day of just high impact, high value conversations. It was powerful. We received a lot of information. We received a lot of strategies on how to get involved in advocacy and how to get started. Again, please make sure you're following us. We've sent out like an advocacy pack to all the registrants, but it's really open to everyone. So if that's something you are interested in, maybe to just know how to begin your advocacy journey, I highly encourage you get connected, you plug in and then receive, so you can receive that information. And today I just want to talk about how do we keep that energy going, right? How do we keep that conversation, going? What can we do starting now? What can we start doing today, right? Because momentum is fragile, right? Momentum is fragile. You have the momentum now and then you don't. So life happens. Every back to business. Normal issues of life come at you, and then you have to focus on those things. And then the decisions, the excitement, the energy fizzles, right? So you need structure. Without structure, momentum fades into inspiration without impact. Right? Have you been to that event where you're maybe a service and the preacher preached a good word, and while the message was going on, you made some decisions, you made some choices, and it was supposed to be the day you change your life, and then after that you left, and then the first day passed and the second day passed, and you don't even remember the title of the sermon anymore, right? Because life begins to happen. So momentum is fragile and we need to capitalize on it, right? So it's important that we start making very clear cut action plans. Okay, now that I've decided to do, now that I'm more informed, what next? What is the next step for me? And so that's what I want to talk about. Advocacy isn't just a moment, it's a movement that requires consistency. It requires consistency, right? What sustains change is not just emotion, but intention. It's not just, how you felt. Again, going back to the sermon reference, if you're a church person, if you're a person of faith, you've had those moments where, again, in the moment, it felt like, man, this is powerful. I need to do something different. I need to change my life. And then afterwards, nothing. So it's not about the moment. There has to be intention behind the emotion. So reflect on the energy of the conference, and then look at the ideas that we have collected, that we've received, and then how does that translate into action? That should be the question. Now that I've gotten all of this information, what next? The what next question and committing to taking that next step is super important. So I want to give us a few things that we need to do or we need to start doing. So I want to talk about what advocacy looks like beyond the event. Beyond the event. And this time around, I'm breaking this into 4 practical pathways, right, for sustained engagement. 4 practical pathways for sustained engagement. Number 1, stay connected, right? Stay connected. You can't be playing from the sidelines anymore. You have to be connected. You have to be a part of the movement, right? Join the African Immigrant Collective. Join the community. Reach out to us. Let's get you plugged in, right? We are on WhatsApp if that's your preferred method of communication. We have a community platform. So just join. Just stay in the loop about what is going on, right? Stay connected. Join our network, right? Keep in touch with everyone you met at the conference. If you were at the conference physically, stay connected. If you are a virtual attendee, everyone that you connected with, make sure because we had a very good virtual attendance as well as physical in-person attendance. Stay in touch with the people you met, right? That's how collaboration is formed. It's born. It's Collaboration happens when you follow up. That's when it becomes real, right? In the end, during the moment, it's like, this is good, this went well, it's nice, all of that good stuff. But it becomes real when it's we can say, yes, this is what came out of this. I was able to connect to this person. We had lunch together, we had coffee, we had a phone call, we had a Zoom call, we got on Teams and we had conversations, and so follow up with the people you connected with, right? Again, get connected to our WhatsApp groups, get connected on our high level platform, and let's keep the conversation going. So number 1 is stay connected. You can't do this in isolation. You need to be amidst other people who are dancing to the same tune as yourself, who are feeling the same energy, who are vibing to the same excitement as you are. And that way, it's that synergy. Even if I'm down, I can feed off of the energy of somebody else. But when you're in isolation, you're down by yourself, right? And so get connected. That's one very important next step to take. Number 2, volunteer and serve. Right, volunteer, volunteer, volunteer. Find a place to serve. Advocacy thrives on hands and hearts. It requires people showing up. So it's time to volunteer within the collective. Volunteer. Yesterday within our WhatsApp group, I shared, an opportunity for people who wanted to jump on, calls. We have midterm elections that are preparing for and going on, right? And we're sharing opportunity for people to start getting involved in identifying why we don't as a community, and we're not endorsing any candidate or any party, but there are people within who are running, people within the community who are already in the field. Let's go out and be a part of let's identify people that align with what your goals are, your values are, and go support them. Like, actively go volunteer with their campaigns, go help them make calls. Again, we've identified a few people and we're sharing information on how to. Again, we've done it to where we're not endorsing anybody, and you don't even know who this phone banks are for. You'd have to join to find out, because we're not supposed to endorse based on our status. So we're not leaning towards any candidates or political parties, but we want our people to be involved. We want our people to run for office. We want our people to vote in elections. Okay, we want to be a part. So even if you're not able to vote, you can campaign. You can make phone calls. You can volunteer in campaigns. You can volunteer within the collective again because we are creating events that are driven by advocacy. We are building programming towards next year that focus on advocacy and other things that serve the African American community here in the United States. And so it's important, it's super important that we plug in, right? But again, just get involved somewhere. There's so much opportunity, whether it's with outreach, communications, logistics, becoming one of our knowledge partners, becoming a mentor. Whether it's with planning events, that's what you're good at. You organize, you want to lean into organization and planning. Please come join us, right? There's so many opportunities to serve, to get involved. And that's how you that's how you keep momentum, going. Number three pathway is educate and amplify, right? Share what you've learned from the conference. Okay, get busy online. And I've been seeing this, and I want to shout out everybody who has been posting about the conference on their social media platforms and tagging African American Collective. Post what you've learned, right? That's how you amplify the work. That's how you amplify your voice and amplify the work that we do as well, right? You're lending your voice to the cause. And so post takeaways, post, your notes, any special quotes that hit you, talk about them, any key insights you learned, expound on them on social media. Like, let people know what you're about and what you're excited about. Tag him collective when you do this. Tag the speakers. You encourage them. You're giving visibility to their work. Tag the right people in your post, but keep the conversation going. Right, again, we want to go from emotion to actual momentum. We want to go from that initial excitement to action, right? And so keep the momentum going. Talk about it, share within your circles. I've talked about the videos being on YouTube already. Again, go grab the links. We've cut up each segment, into its own video, so you're not watching the entire 4 hours at one stretch. So take these segments, you can digest them. It's 30 minutes, 1 hour. Share them with somebody, right? Share them and let them get involved. Let them learn what you have learned and experience what you experienced. Have other dialogues going, right? Have other dialogues, other roundtables within your circle, and continue the conversation. Right? Continue the conversation. Every time you talk about these issues, you are keeping advocacy in motion. Every time you have these conversations, you're keeping advocacy in motion. So keep talking about these things. Keep at it. And then number four pathway is enroll in a program or take the next step in leadership. So we have, and I want to, we announced this at the conference, but we're launching a leadership and civic engagement accelerator. It's launching next year. We will be opening up registration soon once we finalize the logistics of the program. Please go ahead and sign up when it's launched. Even now, before we open up registration, indicate interest. Let us know you're interested, you want to be a part of it. This is what's the bridge between inspiration and influence. We're breaking down, we're giving you practical steps, we're taking you on a journey to begin your own, we're taking you through like a transformation process so you can begin your own advocacy journey, and know exactly what to do. Tell people about this, tell people, spread the word for us, help us get the word out. Spread the word, spread the word, spread the word. It was such an incredible time this past Saturday, just how everything happened. It was incredible to see people come together and just have these conversations. The speakers, like I mentioned before, were incredible. But one central theme that all of them were talking about was get involved, get involved, get involved. We can talk about seats at the table. We can talk about pulling chairs to the table. All of those sound very inspirational. All of those sound really good. One key theme that was consistent from every panel, from every speaker, fireside chat was get involved, get off your tail and get in the field, right? There is work to be done. If all of the things that we highlighted were concerns and issues, the way to change that, the way to start making a dent in the system is by stepping out and getting involved. It's by getting involved in your HOA, in your city council, in your school board for your kids. It's by stepping out. It's by finding and identifying a position and feeling like, what, I'm qualified, I'm eligible, I will run for this office. It's by raising your hand to be a part of things. It's by volunteering. Right? It's by joining the collective and saying, hey, I want to be a part of this work that you guys are doing to further, amplify the voice of African immigrants, to further create a platform where no one like us has to start from scratch. We're changing the philosophy. We're trying to change, and we're trying to shift the culture, the mindset that we've always had. One of the things that a lot of people experienced when they first got to the US was people who had been here before that they had looked up to help them hold the door open, gave them, literally became the roadblocks they had and said, hey, you have to go through this yourself. You have to go through because I went through it. Right. Which we want to change that mindset so that the next group of immigrants coming in don't have to rebuild, don't have to figure it out. No, we want them to step into situations that are ready made for them to thrive, right? We want to change our situation and make it better for ourselves. But even more importantly, it's the legacy part and ensuring that, again, everyone coming after us can get information, has access to resources, has a neat soft landing to be a value adding, member of the society, right? Without having to go to the dregs and go through the hassle and even make mistakes, right? Again, advocacy starts with awareness, but it thrives with consistency. So I'm lending my voice to every speaker that spoke during the conference. I'm adding my voice to it, and I'm saying, get plugged in. It's time to step up. It's time to step up. So my call to action for everyone right now listening to me is take action this week. Take action this week, right? Follow up with one person from the conference. If you did not attend the conference, go back and watch the conference. Go on YouTube and watch the sessions. Everything is out there. We've put it out to make sure that everybody can benefit, everybody can learn. The sessions were incredible. I can't even get into the details of each one of them. They were incredible sessions, right? Plug into AIM. Get plugged into AIM. Plug into any one of our initiatives and our volunteer opportunities. If you see any of our posts around this conference, please post it, reshare it, do all of that good stuff, right? Lend your voice to what we're doing, to the work, and then sign up for the Catalyst program when we open up the launch, right? Again, you're not going to know when we launch if you're not in the community, so get plugged in. Get plugged in. That is my message to everyone today. The conference, this was our first time doing this. It will not be our last one. We are thoroughly excited about this platform, this opportunity, and it's something that I feel like it's incredible, it's amazing, and I can't wait to see where this journey, it takes us. It's important that we sustain the momentum. Let's not wait for next year's conference before we before we gather again, before we do something about this, please. If you have questions, reach out to the team and ask us, how do I get involved? How do I get plugged in? How do I become a part of this movement? It takes all of us to make a difference. One is too small a number to accomplish anything meaningful, anything great. So that is where I'll leave it today. Again, I didn't start on time. Again, dealing with some personal issues, a little bit sick, but I'm getting better. I'm feeling good. So that's my spiel. I hope you got something out of this. I'll see you again. We have our masterclass series is back this Saturday. Get on our LinkedIn page and see what we have, who's talking, who's speaking this Saturday. And again, spread the word. All right. We look forward to seeing you in one of our numerous meetings to wrap up the year. All right. God bless you. I will talk to you again next week.